Hello, YouTube. I am back, and today we are discussing a project I'm going to be revisiting. Yep, we've already done this project before, and this should look familiar to you. What we are redoing is our Ash vs. Evil Dead Power Glove. So long story short, I like my Power Glove. It was complimented by Bruce Campbell live on Twitter, and it wasn't too bad for what it was. A very cheap, very simple, very quick build, made with little to no cash. But I decided I wanted to upgrade that, so I reached out to a KOS member, Christoph Engel, and he was happy to hook me up with some parts. So here we are today. Now, I'm just going to be going over the parts, and I'm mostly going to be explaining what I'm going to do so that way you guys can build your own version of a high-end power glove. Oh, a bit of dust there. That's okay, I can clean that later. Anyway, so I'm more or less just going to go over the parts with you and basically going to be explaining what you need to do in order to make yourself a new power glove. If you want to go full on out with lights, detachable hand, and so on and so forth. So let's get started. Let's get started with the power housing piece. This is a resin piece. This was again made up by Christoph Engel. He's over on the KOS group, so if you want one of these for yourself, hit him up. And what we got here is basically the back portion of Ash's wrist. This is the actual, I guess you could kind of call it the battery pack for his hand. And as you can see, I got all marked up here with scratches and scrapes in it. And those are areas I need to remove because my toggle latch, this thing right here, is a bit too big and a bit too wide to fully fit through. You can kind of fit it through, but it's not quite going to fit until you actually get rid of these areas, including the top portion here, because the whole thing needs to be able to fit like this. The reason this section right here is being cut out, oh crap, I made that a little jagged, but that's okay. We'll figure it out when we go along. It's really dirty too. This is basically the connection point for his hand. Now the way the show works is there's a little nub right here that actually can yank out, and it disconnects wires, which allows his hand to kind of move and stuff, so he can attach the chainsaw to his nub instead. So I gotta remove this huge chunk right here, more or less, and take that out, and then sculpt a new piece, which allows me to attach the hand and detach it and whatnot. So right here, this is basically more or less for the toggle latch to fit through, so you can actually clamp the hand down, more or less. I'm trying to see what part of this I got crooked so that way I make sure to fix that. I'll fix it later. Added a screw in here. There needs to be 2 screws right here, and then another 2 bottom here. One of the pieces which is in here, which is just a little silver rectangle. Nothing too important. I'm also going to be drilling out this light here, so we'll actually have a flashlight to go with it. And what we got here is our toggle light. A rocket light, or whatever you want to call it. So this basically just slots right in here, and I need to wire it up. Gonna use a battery pack, more or less, and some wires. Same with the light here, except there's gonna be a bit of a, what do you call it there? There's going to be a light switch on the bottom, so I'll be able to turn it on and off manually without needing to worry about it turning on whenever I turn on this red light. So that'll be pretty useful. Up next, I need to get some 4-inch PVC pipe. That's going to basically be the plate for the wrist, which is what this thing sits on. Just a red plate, more or less. So yeah, this is basically just the beginning stages of trying to get this all set up, ready to go. Of course, you gotta have yourself a toggle lamp. Not quite entirely sure where I got this from. I forgot the name of the website, but this is basically the same one that they used on screen, if I'm not mistaken. Again, a little too thick, a little too wide to actually fit in here, and a bit too long to fit in here. So that's the reason why we're drumming most of this stuff out. Up next, you got your cam buckle. This will be for your strap right here, which allows it to connect to wrap around the forearm there, and it allows you to actually attach it to yourself. So pretty good. Then we got some wires. They got a bit wet, but that's okay because these are only decorative. These wires are only decorative. They don't do much. They just serve the purpose of being screen accurate. So those will go like around here and connect to the hand plate. Should be a pretty easy fix. And lastly, we got our little bits and bobs here. We got our red and black wires. Again, those are only going to be decorational. We got some screws here. We got this little nub piece here. This goes in between the knuckles of your right hand, which is more or less the screwdriver that Ash uses to stab the shit out of the waitress in Season 1, Episode 6, I believe. So yeah, guys, these are basically my new parts to work with. Eventually, this is going to be a whole functioning Power Glove with actual lights and an actual detachable hand, so it'll be almost just like the show. The sculpt is not perfect, but again, this was made for, you know, DIY builders, not people who want to sculpt like a whole power piece by themselves, because trust me, that shit is ridiculously hard to do. But in the meantime, I will be cleaning this up, I will be removing chunks, I will be adding portions, so on and so forth. And I should have an end result fairly soon. I'm aiming to get most of this done by next year, or at the very least have the entire cuff done by next year. And at the most extreme, I want to be able to have most of this stuff drummed out by, say, the end of this year. Like maybe late October, mid-November, possibly. Just depends on if I can get my Dremel back. But yeah, guys, just a small update about what I'm working on. I should have a new Jason video coming on the way soon. Because I want to be able to show off all my masks that I made over the years. I was originally going to wait till I had every mask that I had done, but I'm honestly so proud of my work that I kind of want to show it off. So I'm going to wait until my new project comes in that I'm going to be revamping, so that way I can do that video. Should be pretty fun watch. It's not going to be usual, my usual explain of how I made it and so on and so forth. It's more or less just going to be like a showcase. But that's a video for another time. So, in the meantime, guys, you stay groovy. Remember, if you want to pick up this powerhouse piece for yourself, hit up Christoph Engel on the Nicest Scenario Facebook group. And yeah, I will see you guys around whenever either I have an update or when I plan on making a new video. You guys, stay groovy.